10 News begins with breaking news.
And this is a prime fear we've had since the day we moved in.
Families gathering what they could, preparing to leave as a fire burned toward their homes in Solana Beach. Firefighters say the brush fire is now 100% contained, burning just a half acre. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our 10 News reporter Matt Boone spoke to nearby residents as they prepared to evacuate.
Yeah, scary afternoon for residents here in Solana Beach. Their homes just on the southern end of the San Elijo Lagoon. Those flames coming up close to this canyon. Firefighters having to bat them away with aerial and ground units.
There's a fire in the canyon and I just started freaking out.
Kian Hoover saw the flames and started packing.
I went and ran and I grabbed all of the photo books and kennels and stuff, and I was getting them ready to go in my car.
He says firefighters came into his backyard, prepared to protect the million-dollar homes overlooking the lagoon.
I was worried, I'm not gonna lie.
Farther down the canyon, firefighters started warning residents they may need to evacuate.
Put stuff away in the couple of boxes so that I could grab them real quick.
Jim Dietz didn't end up having to leave, but says he's always been worried about a fire in this canyon.
Because there's not much to stop the flames from coming right up the thing into the house.
Despite the steep terrain and the dry brush, Hoover says firefighters did have one thing working for them.
Thankfully, the last few days it had been really windy with an onshore wind, but thankfully tonight it was pretty calm.
So far, the cause of the fire has not been released. In Solana Beach, Matt Boone, 10 News.
Our 10 News viewers were alerted to the fire on our 10 News mobile app. There's a free version available in the App Store. Just search 10 News. Your voice, your vote. Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren is in San Diego tonight. She took the stage at Waterfront Park downtown for an outdoor town hall. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is there live. Anthony, one of the many issues she's addressed is our housing crisis.
That's right, she talked about housing. She also talked about immigration. Now, Elizabeth Warren making the most of her San Diego visit tonight. Check it out. She's over there taking pictures with her supporters, meeting them, shaking hands. And how about this line here? This is the line to take a picture with Elizabeth Warren. It seems to go on and on. It seems to wrap around this building. According to her campaign, there were about 8,500 people here at her town hall tonight.
President of the United States, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren's popularity continues to soar. The Massachusetts senator made her first campaign visit to San Diego since joining the presidential campaign trail.
She's my pick of candidates, and I was thrilled that she would come here to San Diego and I would have an opportunity to see her.
Warren's message, taking on the corruption in Washington by cutting out money from big corporations and special interests.
It is time for a wealth tax.
The crowd also cheered when the senator talked about her plans to tax the wealthiest Americans, those making more than $50 million. She says the tax will fund several for other initiatives like universal child care and universal college education. Many wanted to hear about her immigration plan. The senator said she wants to see a pathway to citizenship for those already in the country.
Yes, that includes the dreamers, but so much more. It includes grandmas and little kids. It includes people who overstayed their visas.
She also says she had a plan for the housing crisis. She says it would build 3.2 million homes and decrease rent by roughly 10%.
We need a bigger housing supply in America, and we can do that by making a real federal investment.
A small group of local Republicans gathered outside the rally, getting their message out as well, saying Warren does not have the chops to deal with foreign policy.
What experience does she bring to dealing with China, to dealing with Russia? We need to protect what we have.
And tomorrow, Elizabeth Warren will head over to LA to hold another one of these town hall events. That is, whenever she gets done taking all these pictures. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Going to be there a long time. Anthony, thank you. Congressman Duncan Hunter's days in office may be numbered, not just because of his legal troubles, but because of voters. Our latest 10 News Union Tribune poll shows that Hunter is trailing 3 candidates heading into the primary. Omar Campa-Najjar is the only Democrat in the race for the 50th Congressional District. The poll shows him with the highest percentage of voters supporting him at 31%.
I appreciate that the poll has us in a good standing, and I think it's because we've been focusing on fighting for voters and not fighting each other like the other Republicans are.
Former San Diego City Council member Carl DeMaio is the top candidate on the Republican side. With 20%, the top two vote getters, regardless of party, will move on to the November runoff.
One person is dead and a suspect is in custody after a shooting at a senior apartment building in Washington state. Police were called to the building in downtown Vancouver just after 2 p.m. Investigators say shots were fired in the lobby and 3 people were hit. One person died at the scene. The other 2 were rushed to hospitals. They are in stable condition. Negotiators were called in to get the suspect to surrender. Police say he barricaded himself in what is believed to be his apartment unit in the building. The suspect surrendered peacefully after several hours.
MGM Resorts is paying $800 million to survivors and families of the 58 people killed in the Las Vegas mass shooting back in 2017.
My whole cheek, my eyebrow, all of this is it's all metal, all plates, screws.
10 News spoke with a local survivor, Chelsea Romo. She was at the Route 91 Harvest Festival when a gunman opened fire from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Casino. She is trying to find balance in her life right now, raising her 2 kids with a never-ending stream of doctor's appointments. She's unable to go back to work, and Romo hopes a chunk of that $800 million settlement from MGM will help with her expenses. In addition, Romo suffers from PTSD.
I'm always on high alert. I can't do small, crowded spaces. I definitely hope that there's more safety precautions that come out of all of this.
And while she works on recovery, she does hope this settlement will provide a better life.
The final design proposals were unveiled today for a memorial and museum to honor the 49 victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting. One Pulse is looking for public input on the 6 proposed designs. A final decision will be made at the end of the month. The June 2016 shooting marked the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. at the time. It's also the deadliest act of violence against LGBT people in U.S. history. The National Pulse Memorial and Museum is expected to open in 2022.
The San Diego Sheriff's deputies are able to access a network of security cameras right on their phone. It's what the department is trying to do for the very first time ever in the city of Lemon Grove. Our 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena is live with how this was going to work and the concerns from a lot of residents about this. Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Kim, the first of those cameras is actually up here at the sheriff's station on Main Street. The whole idea behind this program is to give deputies easy access to cameras all around the city so they can tap into them as easily as you can access your security camera on your phone.
Dozens of people crowded into a Lemon Grove Starbucks Thursday night to hear all about the Sheriff's Department's plans for cameras around the city.
Utilizing existing infrastructure cameras that are in place so that deputies can, as they respond to a call for service, go in and look at their iPhone through an app that's associated with this program and figure out specifically what's going on in an area.
Lieutenant Mike Rand says the program is in the pilot stage right now and there's still a lot to work out. The first phase would include 5 cameras the Sheriff's Department buys and installs, as well as existing security cameras the city already has up. The idea was met with mixed reaction.
If they had cameras showing what's going on in our alleyway, it would help them.
I know you want to find people that's doing something they have no business doing, but I'm not too keen in that area.
The Sheriff's Department says they understand the privacy concerns, and that's exactly why they're getting input from the community. The city of San Diego ignited controversy when it installed hundreds of streetlight cameras and microphones that police now have access to. If the Lemon Grove program moves forward, the idea is to expand the network and give deputies access to even more cameras from local businesses.
As we move forward, we are going to engage with the business sector within the city of Lemon Grove and ask for their cooperation in assisting us with this pilot project.
Now, this idea was recently presented to the Lemon Grove City Council, but it doesn't necessarily need approval. The Sheriff's Department told me they are trying to gauge the community response to this and see how much support it actually has before they move forward. Reporting live in Lemon Grove, Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. Investigators will be on scene for at least a week where a B17 bomber crashed yesterday, killing 7 people and injuring 6 others.
We know that there was impact about 1,000 feet out from the threshold of the runway.
Well, new video shows the doomed World War II airplane in the air moments before it crashed at Bradley International Airport in Connecticut. Among the dead, 59-year-old Rob Riddell, who was supposed to celebrate his wedding anniversary today. His wife Deborah said the flight was a bucket list item.
He knows I was there, and I think at that point, that was where I needed to be.
One of the survivors is being hailed a hero. He was seated in the back of the plane and was able to pop the hatch and pull other passengers out.
The impeachment inquiry is not stopping President Trump from doubling down. Today, the president encouraged another foreign country to investigate his political rival.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine.
The president said this just days before Beijing officials arrive here in the U.S. to resume trade talks. Democrats say both requests undermine national security and our election integrity. There has been no finding of wrongdoing by either Joe Biden nor his son. His campaign says the president's comments about China and Ukraine echo a moment from the 2016 campaign when then candidate Trump asked Russia to look into Hillary Clinton.